Hey girls, welcome into day 16. We are doing the 1.5 rep booty. And today's quote is, just in case no one told you today, you're awesome, you're beautiful, and you're worth it. So today's exercise, you're just gonna need your booty band and a weight. You'll see that my weight looks a little bit different. Don't let this intimidate you. You can still use a dumbbell, a jug, a can, whatever. Adding resistance and adding weight though is going to build your muscle, which is going to enhance your metabolism and also burn fat. So make sure anytime you're able to, you feel like you still have the right form, then we can increase our weight. If not, keep it nice and light, and we're just gonna focus on form first. Today's exercise is actually gonna be more into the back of the hamstring and into the bottom of the glutes today. And so that's where our main focus is. As women, we carry a lot more of our fat in our lower part of our body. And I have a lot of requests for women saying, Danita, help me with my cellulite. Danita, help reshape my legs. I have saddlebags. So this is a great one to really reshape your legs and start to really define and make them look really sexy. That's our goal today. Warming up your hamstrings is so essential because the hamstrings is such a vulnerable area for injuries. And so if you do not warm up, you will it gets tight and you start feeling Charlie horses and everything else. So we're gonna make sure we go into a warm up and also a proper deadlift. So the warm up, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do our kick backs. So you're just gonna really try to hit your booty, and I'm gonna do 30, so stay with me. Jump on in, don't be nervous, get your warm up going with me. And let's begin. So really think about those hamstrings, start drawing some blood, energy, and new oxygen there. Again, I'm not the greatest at counting, so if your 30 is different than mine, yours is probably right, okay? So the next one we're gonna go into is a proper deadlift. Some of you, I'm already touching a subject that you already know. Others, this is gonna be important, crucial information for your hamstrings and to progressing you as in your fitness. Okay, so proper deadlift. The first thing you wanna do is obviously grab your weight, whatever it is, dumbbells, whatever your choice, okay? So your feet about hip distance apart, and your biggest focus is having a balanced weight in your feet, but as deadlifts, really think more into your heels because you are focusing more on the back of your legs. If you're too much in your toes, your balance will be off. Next is make sure that your spine is in alignment. So I always make sure I roll my shoulders back and I drop them into place, which essentially brings my chest up, and that puts your spine in alignment. The next one is always keep your core really nice and tight through your deadlifts. It's very, very important there as well to make sure that everything is nice and stable and therefore not hurting your lower back. The next is always make sure, a lot of people end up arching their neck through their deadlift. Always make sure you keep your deadlift in one nice line all the way up to your neck. So go ahead and stand up with me if you're not off your couch yet, okay? So jump up with me, hip distance apart with your feet. Your knees are gonna be slightly bent, all right? That's the key point. Something that will not change now are those knees. I have a lot of girls that are confused because as this is a deadlift, most girls feel comfortable going to a squat. So notice the difference between that. If you need to grab a mirror to see the difference between what those are, okay? So sending your booty clear back. And notice I'm not going all the way to the ground, I'm just going to where my shoulders are not going to drop forward, all right? So you wanna, again, keep everything nice and tight. You feel a nice good stretch to the back of your legs, and you're gonna come up using your heels, press your heels into the ground to focus on the back of the legs and the glutes. All right, let's go. Let's do 20. Another good important tip too is always keeping that weight nice and close to your body. Notice I'm not going out here with my weight, right? That's a lot of your back and also into the wrong balance. So again, make sure you're nice and close to your body. 5 more. Great, we're gonna do a little bit of adjustment because I love sculpting bodies. So we're just gonna point those toes slightly out. If you have any knee problems, obviously listen to your body, be very careful with this. We're just gonna bow those toes out a little bit and you're gonna give me 10. I start to feel the outer part of my legs when my toes are out. It just hits different muscles when you start switching your feet around. I'm gonna bow my toes slightly in on this one. Again, nothing too drastic, but just enough that you're starting to challenge little muscles that aren't awake yet. So bowing your toes in, give me your final 10, and this is the last of your warm-up. Again, keep in mind, my knees are always slightly bent. I'm never locking them out. Notice the difference of that. Okay, I'm always kind of slightly bent through those. Great job, girls. I'm proud of you. Let's go into our workout. So first exercise, go ahead and grab your band and you're going to place it on right above your knees, so right onto your thighs. And then you're gonna go ahead and grab your weight and get set up here. So for the positioning of this, you want to make sure that your standing leg is in a slight bend. You don't want to completely stiffen it and lock it into place. You want to make sure it's got a good, nice bend and you're into more of your glutes. So you're really flattening your foot, making sure you're not too forward, but you got a good stabilization in your heel. From here, your other foot is going to be back. This isn't going to be your working leg, so less focus here, and your focus is on this leg, and it is the back of the leg, so in your hamstring. Before you go into it, stand straight up, roll your shoulders back. You're going to set your spine straight, so you want a nice, good straight spine with a tight core, and from here, we're gonna go all the way down, all the way up, a little one at the top, and back up. That is called a 1.5 rep. I'm gonna do it again for you. All the way down to where our hamstring is nice and tight, not all the way down to our toes, because what happens is we lose our form. Okay, so you want to make sure that everything is nice and straight, shoulders are always back, going as far down as you can feel that your heel is pressing into the ground and you're feeling those hamstrings and the glutes. All the way back up, squeeze your glutes, halfway down and up. So we're gonna go ahead and go into 10 of these. Stay with me. And let's begin. So now we're gonna switch into the next leg. Do remember I can't count, so if your counting is better than mine, I'm focusing on all your form. And so again, that's something I need to get better at. So the left or the right leg, whatever one you did not work, is gonna go forward now. And so you're gonna go ahead and go down. Again, all the way up, squeeze your booty. Halfway, squeeze your booty. I am burning, and I love this feeling because it really does shape my legs. Something that's a good focus too is always keep your spine in alignment. So you don't want to be arching your neck back. So if you need to look at the ground, that's fine. Just make sure everything's nice and tight and you're feeling it where you need to. And I'm feeling it all through here, right underneath my booty here, all the way down into my calves even. So second exercise for today is lunges. Lunges sculpt your legs so much, and I love the difference that I've seen once I learned the proper form with lunges. So I say this a lot, make sure that you're always focusing on the balance of your feet, and if your width of your feet is too narrow, you're gonna end up going into the wrong place. So make sure you really slide that foot back so you're able to get a good 90-degree in your front leg and also your back. Paying attention, having that mind-body connection of where you're feeling it is gonna be really, really important as well. So as you're focusing on your front glute, coming up and squeezing through is where you want all your emphasis, okay? If the booty band needs to come up a little bit so you can get a wider length, that's great. So go ahead and move it up if you need to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our 1.5. So step your lunge all the way back. You can hold on to something, like chair or something a little bit more stable if you need that modification into your balance or your workout, okay? So we're gonna go all the way down. If you can, advancers, touch your knee to the ground. My modifications, you can just do a little tiny one right here. That's okay. You're going to be progressing, so one day you'll be able to go all the way to the ground. So go all the way down, come all the way up, give me a little pulse up at the top, and that is called your 1.5 rep. Let's do it again, we're gonna do 20. Here we go. All right, so you wanna be feeling this front leg. Feel this booty right here. Will you be feeling other muscles? Yes, because you're sculpting those legs, but also really feeling this booty here. Awesome. Once we get 20, let's go ahead and switch legs. I'm feeling it. Awesome. So some little things that can help too with your lunges. I always say, instead of a runway model where your feet are right in line with each other, be a railroad track instead, so you have more of a hip distance of your width there. The other one too is, if I'm not feeling my booty, one of the biggest focus is when I go down, I really focus on pressing my heel in the ground and going into and pressing in with that leg. If you're still not able to feel it, you can even do it on a step, where if you put this foot up, it all of a sudden activates it a little bit more, so that can also help. Great job, girls. All right, girls, exercise 3. I love this one because this is where I'm really feeling the burn. So Stay with me. If you can even add weight on the last one if you're advanced. I did not mention that. Or without for my modifications, right? So this one I do want to add weight. Anytime that you feel like you need to put the weight aside, feel free to do so. So this one you want to make sure your booty band is in the same place right above your knees. You want to have your feet pretty close next to you so you can pretty much are in reaching distance. Have your feet about hip distance apart, so not too far together and not too far out, right? So hip distance apart. Our focus again, we're gonna go into our 1.5ers. So we're gonna go all the way up, squeeze our booty up in the air. We're gonna go halfway down, all the way up, and then down. So a little different here again. So all the way up, halfway down, all the way up, and down. Really press those legs against that band so you're really feeling it into your adductors. And let's go for 20. I am burning over here. It feels awesome. It feels great. Awesome. Once you get 20, you can keep that weight on if you want, or you can set it off to the side. What we're gonna do now is keep your back nice and off the mat. Keep your glutes nice and firm and tight. Your heels are digging into that ground, and you're gonna press against that band, go all the way, halfway in, all the way out, and back in. Again, all the way out, halfway, all the way out, and back in. You got a total of 20. Your booty's gonna wanna fall, don't let it. I'm shaking, are you? Woo! Oh, the burn. That's why we love these bands though, huh? I think we got 2 more. What do we got? What do we got? What's your number? Oh my goodness, that's a good one, and let's stretch it out. All right, exercise 4. How you feeling so far? Does it feel good? Does feel good, huh? So this next one's a little bit tricky. You can either just leave your dumbbell standing straight up like that is, and you can go ahead and just bring your feet together, and you're gonna try to have the holding, what do you call it? The bar of the dumbbell, whatever, right in the middle of your feet, okay? So you want that in like the curves of your feet. And you want to be bringing your toes together and your heels can be apart, but essentially you just want to make sure that you're holding the dumbbell correctly. That's one way to get into it. Obviously you can just place it there too, whatever feels best for you. You're gonna go ahead and lay all the way completely down as you just let that dumbbell fall right into, right on top of your shoes there. If you can kind of see what that looks like. From here, as you rest the upper part of your body, focusing on really relaxing your back, you're going to touch the dumbbell all the way to the ground. Come up, you're gonna go ahead and see that I'm flexing my feet as I draw my toes towards the ground. And then here I'm going to point my toes back. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go all the way up, halfway, back, and down. Those are our 1.5 reps. So let's go ahead and do 20 of those. All right, great job. So keep in mind for my modifications, my beginners, your big strong focus is having more of a baseline and smarting with, and what I mean by that is as you are developing into your fitness, you want to make sure that you are careful with all of those little tiny muscles that are receptive for injury. So you start with lower weight and you can go into higher reps. As you progress, my advanced students, really ready for that muscle growth and really ready to start really shaping and seeing more of quicker results. After you do your beginner and your lighter weight with more reps, you're going to advance into your heavier weight. So this one is 20 pounds. And so eventually you can go into heavier weight and go into less reps. And so maybe something that we did today, which was 20 reps, you can start bringing it down to 15 and even into 10. And that will be able to help advance as you get heavier weight. You're like, how am I supposed to finish 20 reps, right? So that is our progression as we go into this. This is something that a lot of students ask, well, what do I do after this workout? Is you actually can rewatch these videos and just start adding weight into it and bringing those reps down. So for my beginners, great job. We're gonna end with the one. If you feel like you're a little bit more in the medium category, go ahead and complete 2 rounds of what we just did with our 4 exercises. And for my advancers, let's try to add that weight and let's complete 3 rounds, and you can do a little bit less reps than 20. I hope your hamstrings feel great. Let's go ahead and go through a couple stretches so you know how to really put the blood into your hamstrings so you don't wake up in the middle of the night having Charlie horses, right? So again, a lot of water and follow these stretches. For my beginners, make sure you hold on to something again if you're a little uncomfortable with your balance. So my back leg is going to be slightly bent while my front leg is going to be straight forward. My toes will be up, therefore I'm going to get a nice good stretch through my back. What I like to do is sometimes actually bend my knee just a little bit and go deeper into my bent leg, and that's where I really start to feel even more elongated rather than just really hyperextending. Try to keep a nice good slight bend and you can feel it in other places with it, so it feels really good. What I also like to do is rotate my toe in and rotate my toe out. So I'm really starting to hit different areas of the hamstring rather than just always stretching it forward. We are obviously 360 and we need to create kind of more of a rotation and things. So nothing crazy, listen to your body, listen to your knees, but it should feel like a really good, nice stretch. It feels great to me. I always focus on at least 3 big deep breaths, like 3 to 5 deep breaths. And instead of counting, which is annoying, I like to just focus on deep breathing, and that's what helps me through my stretches. And then switch to the other leg. Girls, and I will see you on the next day. I'm so proud of you, so stay with me. You're doing awesome.